Okay, we have our guests today. Nico. Hi, Nico.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi.
Kevin. And
Hello.
welcome to Komita Journey. And we have here Nel. Nel, kamusta ka na?
Okay naman. So, mukhang interesting yung natin na. Ano
Uh,
bang topic natin today?
so we're gonna do something different today. It's called a versus challenge, and this will be the first time we're gonna be doing this. So this is gonna be a series of brands versus brands. No? And syempre, our goal is not just to do pit them against each other, pero ang goal natin is to learn, no, how to strategize and ano yung kailangan gawin ng mga businesses, no, if this is the current challenges ninyo, no. Kung may kalaban kayo, 'di ba, na competitor, ano yung kailangan niyo gawin? So yun yung idea natin. So we brought in two marketing experts who has been in the marketing field and expertise throughout their existence, no, in terms of their profession. So let me introduce first, syempre, si Nico, who's on the bottom side. Hi, Nico. Can you introduce yourself?
Hello. Yeah. So like you said, I've been for the past few years. I've been doing social media marketing and
Yes.
PR for various people.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And
So
you're not allowed to say your clientele, I guess. Or pwede.
for certain politicians,
All
mostly
right.
politicians.
Very well known yan, Chris.
We'll invite them, by the way, next time. Uh, and then I understand you have your own company, right? This is part of your company. So you do
Yes.
this
Yes.
social media practice. Okay.
Yeah.
And as part of your social media practice, do you also contribute in their branding and other marketing initiatives?
No. No. More of, well, of course I have a say in I can comment, but sometimes they have other people for that. But
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
go ahead.
Maganda yan. Next time, we're gonna do a series on the politicians. Lalo na next year, di ba? There's gonna be
Lapit
another
na.
battle. So
Lapit na.
we'll invite you. We'll invite you. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if you will accept kasi nga you have clients na. And we have here, syempre, a good friend of mine, Kevin. Hi, Kevin. Introduce yourself.
Hey, Chris. Hey, Nell. I'm Kevin.
Ay.
Like Christian said, I've been marketing throughout my existence. I was born into marketing. Now, I used to work for multinational companies for PR and marketing, but now I focus on more on consultancy. So the company I'm involved with in now does media buying and strategy for e-commerce. So D2C brands, that's what we focus on. And I'm actually, I think we're a bit of, we're the type of people who are ahead. We try to stay ahead of what's going on in terms of algorithms and what's new with data privacy policies. So that's what we focus on as consultants. No? So in short, we're still a media buying agency, but we look at financials, and I think that's what separates us from other digital marketing agencies is you don't pay us to click buttons and run your ads. No, you pay us because you want to grow your business, you want to scale, you want to figure out what's wrong, you want to know your financial numbers, you want to know your customer acquisition numbers, yung mga ganun. That's what we focus on. So
All
that's really my
right.
forte.
That's good to hear. Tama-tama. Kasi we're
Nice.
gonna look at some numbers later, no? When we
Yeah,
do
yeah.
this versus challenge. Nel, ang first topic natin would be the noontime show brands, no? Yung background lang nito, I'm not sure if you watch the noontime shows here, but it's been trending, no, Nico and Kevin. But if you don't know what the noontime shows are, ano yung nangyayari, we'll give you a background, syempre. Right now, there's a lot of movement. So this is a trending topic ngayon. Noontime shows brand. So si Eat Bulaga, yung mga hosts nila, sila Tito Vic and Joey, and syempre yung entire cast, moved na to ABC5. Okay. And there's a new Eat Bulaga. Am I right, Nel?
Yes, nag-move na.
Sino yung mga
Sino
hosts
nga?
ngayon ng Eat Bulaga?
Sino Itbulaga? Yung sila,
Yung
TVJ.
current. Hindi, sa Itbulaga. Di ba sa Channel 7 sila Yorme or si Isko Moreno? And
Channel
then
2. Channel
Channel
7
7.
pala. Yeah,
Sila
that's correct.
Paulo Contes. And so it's an entirely new cast. And then third would be Showtime. Showtime is now part of GMA
GMA
Plus,
7.
GMA
Yeah.
7 / ABS-CBN. So why is this important for us? Number one, Noontime Show Brands is a business, no? And it generates a lot of ad revenue, no? Pero at the same time, it presents a problem. Yung problem ngayon sa Noontime Show Brands is nawawalan na ng advertising revenue. So that's one. Number two, cost of production is high. Yun yung main issues, no? Kung bakit nagfe-fail, and madaming nagfe-fail, no? And that's why yung Eat Bulaga, yun yung isang reason kung bakit umalis sila Tito Vic Joey. Sabi ng iba, it's because the production is so high. The cost is high. No? Just like any entertainment show. So that's the premise. We're gonna start now. So I prepared a document here. We're just gonna go through it. No? The setup is this. We'll get your thoughts. Siyempre, si Nel will also be part of will give his inputs. And then from there, what should they do? Okay? Ano yung strategy nila if they are lagging in terms of their score? So let me show you what we have here. So that's the first battle. No? There will be 2 battles today. And we want to know your strategy if this is the current scenario. So let's do that right now. Sige. Ayan. Ayan. Meron tayong calculator dito sa screen. Okay. So there are 3 shows, 3 brands. Okay. Any questions pala, mga guests natin yan? Clear naman so far?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll go through each criteria. And then you can challenge the criteria if it's relevant to their business or if we can add another criteria. Nel, kasama ka dito, ah. Kasama ka dito.
Okay.
Give us your thoughts. Okay. So for host appeal and chemistry, for a score of 1 to 5, let's start with TVJ. How would you score TVJ? Nel. Host appeal and chemistry. With 5
ano ba yung
being the
highest? 5 being the highest. TVJ 5.
5. Ikaw, what are your thoughts, Nico?
Well, they've been together for so long, they can probably finish the sentences. So 5. I mean,
5.
Yeah.
Ikaw, Kevin.
I would tend to agree, no? Like, I know who they are, what they do, and even though I'm not really like in that space, they're that famous, so I'd say 5.
Pero nakapanood ka na ba ng mga shows nila before?
Yeah, lalo na nung like way back nung
Bata pa
elementary, nung bata pa, nung nung nakakauwi pa ako ng noon, nakakapanood pa kami niyan, nung high school and college.
Sila yung mga hosts natin ngayon sa bagong Eat Bulaga, Nel. Anong tingin mo
anong nila? Score nila? Nako.
Score nila. Bago pa lang kasi, no?
Para sa akin, 3.
3. Nico? Thoughts?
Siguro, maybe, sa bagong Eat Bulaga, no? Maybe, I don't know, maybe 2. Maybe 2.
Okay.
Per lang kay Isko Moreno.
Because...
Ayaw nga pala, nandun pa si Isko, no?
Yeah, yung ibang kasama niya medyo baguhan eh. Pero,
oo nga.
Pero yun, at least they got him, they got a few other veterans. Pero, I guess yung gelling, the mixture of everybody, hindi pa, wala pa doon.
Okay, so yun yung challenge ng Eat Bulaga ngayon is may bago sila. Ang popular lang ata si Paulo Contis and si Isko Moreno. Ikaw, what are your thoughts, Kevin?
Sorry, can you tell me sino yung host? I know Isko Moreno, Paulo Contis. Who are the other?
And then yung iba, isang comedian, and then the rest are like new guys.
Right. So I haven't seen, so it's hard to judge. But I know Isko, and I like how he presents himself on camera. Like he knows what he needs to do to get attention. So I think host appeal, he knows what to do. So I'd give him like a 5 for that. And then si Paulo Contis is an actor. So I'd also give him a 5, but I don't know their chemistry. So
Oh,
siguro to average it out with the others na I'm not familiar with, I give them a 3
three.
as a group.
Sige, let's go for 3. And syempre sila Vice Ganda. Is it the same cast ba, Nel? Is it the same cast?
Same cast pa
Same
rin.
cast.
Mm-mm.
What are your thoughts there? 4?
Showtime, 5. Magaling si
5
Vice.
din.
Magaling, oo.
Sige. Nico?
I guess 5. They've been, I mean,
5.
they've been together for a while also. So
And Kevin?
When we're judging, are we judging based on kung how effective they are to their market, or is this personal preference? Like
It's
how I
based
see them.
on how the market would perceive them. Kasi they've been
Right.
successful, no?
Yeah, say
And
5.
let's do
Like
5.
Vice Ganda's show is like everybody knows
Oh.
about it and people love that. So
Does that mean, guys, that they're the same as TVJ? Kasi if they're both 5.
I mean, they've been pitting against one another for so long.
But
So
they're
it
no?
showed. Yeah. So I guess they've
Pwede
been
pa rin,
alive.
no?
Wow.
Mm. Tama. Okay, so we're in agreement na Showtime is ahead in TVJ, no? Longevity is the stickiness, no? And the ability to survive longer. And let's do it this way, no? Sa tingin nyo, which one would be highest na lang, no? Tapos from there, we could put a score na lang para mas mabilis tayo.
Sige.
Which do
so
you think would be
ranking.
the rack na lang natin. Nel?
Saan?
Sa longevity, the ability to
TVJ.
sales, TVJ, di ba? Do
Yeah.
you agree, Nico?
Oh yeah, they're the longest Noontime show.
Oo. So I guess 5 yan. And then number 2 would be, I guess, Showtime,
Showtime.
no?
Yes.
Showtime. And then number 3 is Eat Bulaga. Or may
Yeah.
longevity rin because of yung brand nila nandun pa rin, and maybe not the show. So let's put 4, I guess.
Yeah.
4, okay. Impact and influence, sino yung ahead dito? Tingin nyo.
TVJ pa rin.
I think it's the
TVJ,
same.
no? Parang ganun pa rin, no?
Same.
Do you agree, Nico?
Yes.
Okay. And then Showtime. So it's the host that carries. Is that what you're saying?
Yung mga
Hindi
show
yung
din, yung mga format.
Yung format. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Kasi si Eat Bulaga, no, parang it's just parang bago rin, no? Parang nag-start uli sila, no?
Oo,
Yeah.
from scratch.
Walang carry. Ito na yung different formats and segments. Maybe we're not familiar with that. Pero anong thoughts ni Nel yung mas kabisado dito? Anong thoughts nyo sa innovation and creativity? In terms
Yung creativity, mukhang maganda yung mga yung creativity ngayon ng yung bagong Eat Bulaga.
Talaga? Like what?
Pero kasi mamaya pala magsa-start yung TVJ eh.
Okay.
Mag-create din na sila ng panibagong mga
So we don't know yet.
shows. We don't know yet. Pero so far okay yung mga show ng yung New Eat Bulaga. Yung mga games nila bago.
Oh, okay. Nico, what are your thoughts? Would you know?
No. Well, Nell's right. Well, July 1. So today is the first day of the TVJ.
Eat
So
Bulaga.
TVJ Eat Bulaga. So we will know in a bit, I guess, how it will be.
So let's put them all in, I guess, 3 lahat, no? Kasi we don't know how lahat sila parang start from scratch, eh. 'Di ba?
Yeah.
How about funding and backing? Do you think it plays a big role? Kasi nga advertising, and then we've seen a lot of noontime shows folding. Sino kaya yung ahead here? Kasi we have TVJ with Manny Pangilinan, and then we have GMA7 for both Eat Bulaga and Showtime.
No.
Eat Bulaga. TVJ pala. For me,
Mhm.
I guess TVJ. I have the
EVJs
and
have more
Showtime.
money.
I don't know. I don't know how rich
Oh.
how was his. I mean, so,
I
Pero
have no
they're
idea.
struggling.
so I,
Sige,
I know
we're
it.
gonna do some estimates. Pero I think, yeah, Manny Pangilinan, di ba? This is his big bet. He gave up the Showtime just for this, no? And syempre, advertising revenue, we don't know yung actual details nila, but let's say they're all in the same, no? They're all in the same. All right. Production cost.
mas maganda raw ang studio ng TV5
Talaga. Okay, sige.
Oo.
So, again, production cost efficiency, we don't have any data there, pero let's assume 333 then. And then viewer, are you in agreement, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. And then viewer engagement, sino mataas dito? Tingin nyo?
TVJ. Sa ano pa lang sa ano yan, sa TV ba or sa online din malakas ang ang TVJ.
Oh,
They have Main Mendoza. Tapos yung page nila 19 million yata.
that's true.
I think
So mas marami
possibly
silang reach.
Yeah. Yung TV rating siguro would come into play here sa engagement, like who's ranking higher kasi they can engage people longer. I think that's the battle dito sa mga noontime shows, like who can keep people engaged.
That's
Kasi
true.
it's all at the same time, correct me if I'm wrong.
And yung bagong Itbulaga, binablock yung mga page nila. Bawal sila mag-create ng mga page.
So very
Talaga?
restricted.
Oo, inaano sila kasi, di ba?
Pero sino ahead sa social media ngayon?
TVJ.
TVJ pala.
Oo.
Mas madami. Anong basis nito?
Kasi hawak pa rin niya yung dating page. Di ba yung TVJ? Hawak pa rin nila Hindi nakuha ng mga halos yung page na 19 million.
Tsaka may loyal following sila, no?
Oo.
Mas matindi yung following. Okay.
Although yung page following may also be different sa engagement or yung conversion rate ng following nila. Like, pag nag-post sila organically, how well does that 19 million, resonate?
Malakas.
Yan.
Well, we don't know also because the issue now, that's why sobrang lakas din ng TVJ. I mean, we should have compared it before all this issue. No? But now, because they're in the news, their engagement will be so high and everything. Filipinos love drama. So,
so
skewed pa yung data at this point.
That's true.
Yeah. Kasi I saw TV ratings shortly before TVJ was removed from Itbulaga. Showtime beat Itbulaga when it was a head-to-head early sometime this year. But again now with social media, TVJ has nag-iba na. Saka TVJ has also the issues nga now, diba? So people are curious, diba? So
sa initial, no? Sa initial launch yan, medyo madami. Before we go that route, no? So ngayon, meron na tayong a little bit of assumptions here, no? Assumptions lang naman to kasi we don't have any data. Everything is new. Pero we can all agree that TVJ is ahead because of the excitement and then Showtime because of that, no? And I'm sure prior to having all these stats, parang yan din yung prediction ko. So now, let's talk. No? This is where the marketing expertise comes in. And Nell is also a part of the marketing expertise. No? How would a brand, okay na, ito na, no? Ito na yung main topic natin. So we did an analysis. Paano ngayon yung isang brand na nag-change ng management, nag-change ng product, kasi sila yung product, di ba? So, nag-change ng brand ambassador. How can you compete sa isang brand na nag-switch sila tapos tatlo lang yung or small players lang kayo? So, yan ang main question natin ngayon. So, yeah. Who wants to start? Kevin?
Sorry, can you repeat? What's the question?
So the question is, given the scenario, let's there are two parts to the question. How can Eat Bulaga, no, compete with TVJ knowing that their brand or their product left, diba? People
Yeah.
go to
Okay.
Eat Bulaga because of TVJ and the culture, diba?
Yeah.
Now it left. The brand ambassadors left. So how can Eat Bulaga, calling themselves Eat
Sure.
Bulaga, how can they
Yeah.
compete? And then as a business then, yun yung second part natin, how can they compete then if they had to revise their product in a small industry? So yeah.
All right. I think my answer for both is going to be similar. No, how do they compete? How do you enter a new market, or how do you re-enter a market that you used to own and then compete? Medyo you got uh, a lot of changes going on within your management or your brand is developing. It always comes down to the hook, and the hook. I'm relating this kasi yung experience ko is DTC. This is like new customer acquisition. How do you acquire customers if you're a small fish in a big pond? So it has to be number one in product. So I think the product here could be the hosts, but more than the product, you can have something sort of like a hook or an offer. So what do you have to offer people so that they will uh, join you for your whatever you're doing? So if it's a TV show, how do you get them to tune in? Is there something that you're offering to them outside of what the others are offering? So again, let me just relate this to e-com, no, to DTC consumer brand tayo kunyari. Uh, if I'm trying to compete in fashion, no, sure I have good designs, but everybody has their own designs na magaganda rin. How do I compete? First, I focus on the market. It could be a broad market, it could be a specific market depending on what you're trying to sell. If in the case of the noontime shows, obviously it's mass market, no. So what does the mass market enjoy, or what are they looking for? One, entertainment plus relatability and the chance to win. So the chance to win something could be an offer, a hook that you can advertise, throw it out there, let the people decide if they want to engage with whatever that offer is. It could be like, may mananalo sa inyo ng 1 million pesos every day or every month. I don't know. It could be that's a wild idea, but sometimes wild ideas work. No? And if you're trying to compete in such a competitive environment, na people have a lot of spend, like production companies, these are big TV, these are the biggest networks in the Philippines, and they have a lot of budget that they can put behind it. So the assumption is you have to have something so good that people can't say no to it. It's I learned that from Alex Hermosi, the author of $100 million offers. It's always about the offer. It doesn't matter like how small you are, how big you are. If you have an offer that people can't say no to, then you're gonna get sales. You're gonna get people to engage with your brand or your product. So I think it's sort of like a generic answer. But I think it all boils down to that. It's attention span, diba? What do you have to offer so that in the next 3 seconds that people engage with you, they stay. So I think it's all about that.
Thank you for that. Sige, mamaya comment ako dyan, pero madami. I also love Alex Hermosi. I haven't bought
Yeah,
the book.
it's very inspirational. Yeah.
Sir Nico, I'd like to
Yeah.
get your thoughts, perspective.
Well, Nell knows this. I I wouldn't count out the new Eat Bulaga. Even though the TVJ got all their pages, all the social media accounts, it because they are new, they have chance for innovation. I don't TV, I believe, has been done downhill. People want Netflix, they want instant, so they want to watch it when they want to watch it when they're free. And if you look at ABS-CBN, they lost their franchise, but they're still there. Why? Because social media,
Content.
because the content, and because of their online presence. So I believe even if you look at the studies in the election, well, from like SWS, Pulse Asia, TV is no longer king. People still look now online. So I would have I would prioritize more the online presence. So like I actually suggested this to Nell. I was trying to suggest to Eat Bulaga that
Mm.
because ninako lahat ng pages nila eh. So I was telling them that I was suggesting that we get thousands of pages to air their content to compete with TVJ and its Showtime. Of course, the product, what Kevin said, of course we need to have the hook, but mine is more of the implementation, how to compete, because I don't believe that the TV itself has enough reach anymore. I mean, of course there is, but it's dwindling because people are working, for many different reasons. They don't watch. They're not like iba na eh. Iba na yung landscape eh, diba? Even the working hours, iba. Dati, pag noontime, everyone's home or lunch break, they're watching the shows. Now, wala na, they're watching different things. So, mine is more how to compete. I think we cannot count out the new Eat Bulaga of Halos Host. I believe they have chance for innovation. I don't know. If I was to implement, I would get all these influencers and incorporate them. Incorporate them into the program instead of I don't have Star Magic. I think Sparkle is the one of GME. I don't have the talent pool, but grabe the social media influencers now. They have huge followings, and some of them are I believe the content creators now. They can compete. So I would add to the innovation by incorporating these social media, and then at the same time, like ABS-CBN, walang channel pero they're still there. So I think they can compete through the online presence if they done properly.
And it's cheaper. Diba?
Yeah.
That's an
Yeah, it's cheaper.
additional.
Yeah.
So you widen your network with the influencers.
Yeah.
Very cost effective then kasi yung distribution mo lumaki kasi nga yung TV is no longer efficient. So that's a good perspective. So now let's go back no. Nel, ikaw anong thoughts mo pala? How can Eat Bulaga, the new version, compete?
Iko-combine ko yung answer ni Mikey at saka ni Nico. Bale, yung kay Mikey, parang dapat may hook ka, 'di ba? May ano ka, may maganda kang offer. Perfect example diyan yung kay Willie Revillame, 'di ba? Medyo natalo niya dati. Medyo parang natalo niya yung Itbulaga eh. So ibang kasing ginawa niya eh, sobrang laki ng premyo niya. So nakisabay sila Vic Soto, naging 1 million na rin yung mga price. So yan yung pwedeng gawin nila. Then at the same time, yung mga influencers naman ang gamitin nila.
To create those communities.
Parang mag-live. So lahat ng mga influencers na sikat, ila-live yung Itbulaga. Nako, sobrang lakas yan.
Okay. Nico will help you if you want to reach out to those shows. Include your services. Alright, here's my question. Maganda yung sinasabing offer, Pero there's a cost to the offer. Do you think so ngayon yung offer is it's what I noticed for Noontime Show, it's all about the games, It's all about the competition. Pero do you think and magto-throw sila lahat ng money, do you think it will be sustainable in the long term? And I think that's the culprit on why a lot of these shows failed. Diba? Like also in the entertainment business, Netflix, diba, is doing a lot of cancellation of shows, even Disney because of that. Ano kaya yung magandang offer? Or yun na stuck sila sa prize money? Or it could be a different type of approach, it could be more on recognition or something. Ano kaya yung advice nyo sa kanila to make it more sustainable if the cost is too high? Kasi it's that's what's happening previously.
I can go first. Well, with the cost to offer, there's I don't know who said this, pero there's this saying na whoever can pay the most to acquire a customer will eventually win. No, I don't know if that's true or not, but I think in this kind of market that might come into play, like who has the most to throw out. But then again, it might not just be about money and funding. It could also be like the offer does not have to be monetary. You could be offering something like a benefit, or you could be talking to a different. Your offer could be to a different market. Maybe you're not talking to the Gen X or the Gen Y. Maybe you're talking to Gen Z, and what you have to offer them is more valuable than your competitors. So you don't have to compete in the exact same field, but your offer could be more relatable, or just something that I don't know how you phrase it, but it's just something that more people will want in a specific demographic if that's what you want to go for.
Okay.
Because if you just want to compete and you just do yung offer mo is the same offer ko ano yung competitor, maybe yung monetary will bring you in, but eventually the bigger budget productions will beat you down kasi they'll have more money to give away and they'll have more money to spend on these kinds of things. So maybe go for an offer that they haven't looked into yet, that they're not currently actively promoting, and then go for that. Like find the jugular and then kill them there.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Nel, di ba? Part of the repositioning nila halos host sa Eat Bulaga is to attract a certain segment, yung mga OFW and mga helper. So, and then they wanna engage, no? Yun yung sabi ni Joy De Leon, no? So I think it's aligned with that. Nico, any thoughts on the question on sustainability and, just being stuck in the prize money as an attractive offer?
Yeah, well, I guess they have to really innovate. It's hard to compete. I don't know. Again, I don't know how much money they have to give away. I think they have to change the way it's been. For the longest time, it's about giving the biggest amount of prize money. With social media now, it's not with TV and radio and all the legacy broadcasts. It's a one-way street. You just broadcast and then everyone just watches. They need to, I believe, for them to compete, they need to participate. It has to be two-way street. So they need to engage, to get more people involved in their show. And how they do it, I don't know. Maybe like in the elections, because of the campaign, they would have satellite. They would have satellites doing live throughout the country. So we get more people involved instead of just having it in one place. More people in the streets. I don't know, but I believe it has to be a two-way street now, so that they can find a way to have games or something to not just in the studio, but involving the watchers.
Okay. Now here's my question to you, no, and also Nel, kasama ka dito since you work with clients. Anong advice nyo sa mga companies to with a limited budget, but they want to execute and cover much more market? Ano yung specific strategy that you advise to a specific client? Let's start with siguro Nico, since you're, may mga big ticket yung mga clients mo. May mga nagtatanong ba sa'yo na, pwede ba ganitong budget, mas lower?
Yeah, ako yung pinakamura. Yeah, my clients have money, but I don't know. They don't want to give it to me. But normally, I have to find ways to. It depends on what's the goal. So I start first what they want, and then from there we create a plan to get that goal. No. Yeah. So there are many things that can be done. For one client that didn't have a budget, I told them, every week mag-issue tayo ng outrageous statement. So sabi ko, but they didn't want to implement. Sabi ko, okay, we don't have a PR budget. Sabi ko, let's just issue something. Let's say something outrageous each week. So sabi ko, like for example, I was suggesting to him, sabihin mo abolish Congress. Kahit Congress ka. Pero actually, sabi ko sa kanya, that's not the goal, because it's a what do you call this? Unicameral. So you combine the Congress and the Senate, and then the budget, the savings can be given to the people. But by saying something that's abolish Congress, it'll be picked up by the media, and there's no cost to that.
Automatic di ba?
Automatic. I gave a 18-week. Sabi ko nga this was against BBM. So sabi ko yung gold, di ba? Kasi Marcos gold. So sabi ko sa kanya, second week we will issue na yung gold ibibigay sa tao. Yung minimine. So in Alaska kasi they have an oil dividend. So basically the proceeds from the oil, they give it to the residents. in Australia. So sabi ko,
Talaga.
all the minerals we give dividends to either the local or to the country. So mayroon pa tayong mineral dividend, no.
That's right. That's right.
So anyway, sabi ko just issue outrageous statements and then para we can get free press. Pero yun nga, they didn't agree with me. So
Here's my question, Nico, just to follow up. No,
yeah.
does that mean being controversial works? Kasi it's so cheap, but you get that momentum. Diba?
Attraction.
Again, it depends on what the goal is. If the goal is you want to be, if you're not being, because the problem with the candidate was he was no longer part of the conversation. So it became in the presidential election, it became a two-way race. So it became Lenny and BBM. So sabi ko, we have to get into the conversation. So we have to create controversial statements para pumasok, diba? So you have to change. Obviously, if the server is showing something, if you don't change the game, then you will fade into obscurity.
That's right. That's right. Kevin, same question.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
The question is how do you advise your customers or brands?
If you don't have
Let's say
budget.
they have a budget, they have a small budget, but they want to achieve like bigger than the budget.
So like ROI, like
ROI, yes. Do you encounter that, or
yeah,
I
like
don't wanna...
with DTC, with e-com, it's all about how much you can spend so that you can get a specific amount. Like in advertising, you call that return on ad spend, diba? But I think that should not be the discussion when it comes to, it must not only be the discussion, like hindi lang yung return on investment. Kasi like in my experience, it's always acquiring the new. Because if you acquire new customers or new viewership or whatever, then you work on your retention. So it's all about how much you can maximize whatever budget you have to get the cheapest acquisition cost, and then you make sure that your retention is in place. It's all gonna be about retention. So don't worry about the budget. Kasi yung budget mo will grow. The more new customers or the more new people you bring into your business or your brand, the more people you can remarket to. So if you bring in people, like if I bring in 10 people today to my business, what am I doing for the next 90 days, 180 days, and 12 months to keep them buying within a cycle, within multiple purchase cycles? For example, sorry, puro e-com yung I can only relate it into that example, but I think it will also apply in this a bigger scenario. It's about getting people on your side to engage with you, and then what are you doing to keep them there? It's not about your starting budget. That's important. It's important to have a budget. If you don't have a budget, then maybe look for something else. Maybe focus on your organic to try to get sales in or revenue in, so that you'll have capital to use for advertising. But if you already have like even a small amount of budget, you can grow it. You start small and then you scale and then you scale and you scale. The I think the trick is you don't waste your money trying to get return on your ad spend. You don't spend 2 pesos because you want to look at the data and say you made 4 pesos. No, you spend 2 pesos to acquire 2 customers. That's 1 peso per customer. And then how can you make it so that you acquire your next few customers for 50 cents each, for example? That's how you grow. That's how you scale. So I think that's my 2 cents.
And then you basically focus on this is the cost per customer, and then at the same time you do some optimization para bumaba yung cost niya. And then yung retention, what you're saying is kapag nasa loob na sila, then yung focus should be how do we get them to buy more, diba?
How do you get the maximum revenue out of each customer that you've already brought in? Because the worst thing you can do for e-commerce is spend your advertising money for people who already know your brand. Diba? So I spend money unless you're like McDonald's, like the coffee I'm drinking here, because it's already a big brand. But if you're not a big brand, you don't want to spend your money, your advertising budget on remarketing. That's what they call it, or retargeting people that already are familiar with your brand. Your retention strategy should be doing that. So your retention strategy involves like communication, yung SMS. Diba? How are you communicating on a regular basis with the right messaging to your customer base? Are they responding to it by giving you money or whatever you want to get out of them. So that's retention. And then
That's
new
good.
customer acquisition is all about scaling. So if you can spend this certain amount to get this certain number of clients, then you know where you are. You have your benchmarks. So how do you grow that? You spend more money and you try to keep that acquisition cost. Now, efficiency will always go down when you scale. So if I spend more money on advertising, I can expect return on my ad spend to really go down and probably customer acquisition to go up. But that's what you have to look for. You have to make sure that when you scale, your cost per acquisition does not blow out of proportion. Because it's all about how much you spend acquiring every single new customer or person into your business.
That's good. Ito, quick question to all, no. Nel, alam ko sinabi mo bumaba yung advertising cost sa TikTok bumaba no? How much to 20 pesos na lang or something?
If you want to reach like 1,000, kahit 10 pesos lang pwede na.
Is it competitive versus other platforms?
Pero yun nga yung conversion ng ano doon.
Yun yung key, no?
Kung views lang wala.
Wala. So
Like,
dapat
kunwari nag-set ka ng gusto mo, yung purpose mo is to have downloads. Parang pinupush ni yung views mo. Hanggat wala ka na papadownload yung mga testing ng kaibigan ko, may kaibigan ako nag-testing. Siya, downloads ang niya. Pero yung hindi kasi convincing yung video niya Parang wala lang Wala, pinush ni TikTok yung views niya para magka-download. Pero ang nangyari, wala pa ring download. So dumami yung views niya.
Okay.
Can I say something about TikTok?
Sure.
Sorry, Christian.
Go.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
Just very quick. At TikTok, we're only starting exploring TikTok now for e-commerce and for direct to consumer. TikTok is very effective in getting your brand out there or your message. I like to share just a quick technique that we learned and we have tested and it's proven to work for everybody who's watching the Kumita Journey, this video. There's a technique that you can apply if you don't for content creation, if you don't know where to start and how to succeed. It's called the 10% rule. So the 10% rule is you can get 10% of the engagement and viewership, whatever you're tracking, 10% viewership and engagement on your post if you copy something that's already viral. So for example, if I have a viral video and my friend wants also to go viral, an easy way to get at least guaranteed 10% of what I achieved in my viral video for his video is to copy exactly what I did in my video and just change very few parts so that it will be about his brand. And then because that's how we're seeing of course the algorithm, we don't really know how it works, but that's where we're seeing success. You'll also find this in YouTube and TikTok master classes for growing your engagement and going viral. So we've tested it with several brands, so we know it works for the organic side. And yeah, I thought I'd just share that since you brought up TikTok.
How about you, Nico? Have you used TikTok and what are your thoughts on the ads?
Well, of course, in the election we used it. I've been seeing a lot of what I want to experiment and is what he was saying. I saw a lot of AI. The algorithm. I think it transcribes the content, and then it matches the viewers, the audience. So I see a lot. I haven't tried it, so I see a lot of videos where you grab the viral videos and then you plug it the Chat GPT and then AI and then
Kung yung transcript, di ba? Tapos tingnan mo magalala.
So I haven't tried, but I want to try and see if it works. Yeah, I guess it works. He said
that's good.
That's
good.
It does.
And thank you for Kevin. Kasi we're trying to.
It's something that just helps the smaller businesses out there because it's hard to go viral. But there's actually a formula that it's called the 10% formula, so they can look it up, and apply it to their brand.
No, gagawin natin yan. Okay, let's switch
yung
na.
Shop Entertainment, yung live selling, sobrang lakas.
Tama. Segue na tayo sa next challenge. And we'll do it much faster because we're running out of time. But let's go back to yan. Siyempre, TikTok, Shopee, Lazada. Ito yung forte ni Kevin as well, no? Since we're talking about e-commerce. And siyempre, connected dyan yung mga social media influencers. So Nico, give us your thoughts here. Gagawin natin mas mabilis, no? Kasi we want more discussions here. I will do the honors and then I will give my predictions and then you just comment na lang, no? Para mas mabilis tayo. Is that okay? Okay,
Yeah,
so
sure.
ganito. So sa user base, I'm assuming the TikTok shop kasi paumpisa pa lang yan, medyo mababa. Is that correct? Tama ba? Let's put Shopee high here. Kasi pang mass si Shopee, Lazada, and then perhaps TikTok. Is this a good assessment so far?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tama. As far as transaction volume, syempre si Shopee mas cheaper, di ba? We'll go for 5 here. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, and then TikTok Shop, di ba? By the way, before we continue, the reason TikTok Shop is here, and this is relevant, is we did a news reel last time, and then we talked about how TikTok is repositioning itself sa Asian market, no, sa ASEAN market in general. So it's putting a lot of money here in the Philippines, and delikado ngayon si Shopee and Lazada. So we want to tackle that, no. User experience, not sure here. Nel, anong experience mo sa Lazada? I know you're a KOL sa Lazada. Diyan ba si Janelle? Nel? Wala. Sige. How about you, Kevin, Nico? Ano yung thoughts nyo? Lazada ba kayo, Shopee, or TikTok Shop?
I'll go first.
No. Sige.
I think Lazada and Shopee, I think, are neck and neck, no? Like in terms of yung optimization nila for UI UX. When you look at it, Lazada is more international because Lazada is Alibaba, if I'm not mistaken, no? And Shopee, I think, has dominated Philippines because they're better at communicating and selling to Filipinos. But I feel like Lazada has a wider range in terms of like the products you can buy that are not available in the Philippines. So if you want to source something, I think the user experience will be better in Lazada. But for the general population, like in the Philippines, for what we're talking about, anyway, I'd give Shopee like the first rank, number 1, number 5, and then second Lazada. I haven't seen TikTok Shop, no, so I can't comment on it, so we'll put it last. And they probably have a long way to go in terms of optimizing for UI UX. Lazada and Shopee, that's their business. They're all about UI UX. So it's all about how fast can a view turn, how fast a click can turn into a conversion. So they're neck and neck in that.
Sige.
And TikTok has a long way to catch up, I'd say.
Sige. Nico, any thoughts? Have you used Shopee or Lazada? Ako, I've used Lazada, but my wife has been using Shopee. Ikaw, have you used Nico?
I use Lazada. And my daughter uses Shopee.
Bakit niya pinili si Shopee, not Lazada?
I don't know. Because Lazada was the first one. I mean, I guess the king before, but Shopee overtook them. I guess it's just for me habit. And I guess for my daughter looking for a good deal. For TikTok Shop, I see it. Of course, I see it online, but it's different because it's like they're selling something, so it's a show, right? I mean, is it the same? Like they're live selling something, or is the TikTok Shop
Nel,
different?
can you give us an idea on TikTok Shop? Paano yung user experience niya?
Sobrang bilis. Instant GCash agad, you know. Tsaka live na yung mga influencer or kahit ordinary people lang na pwede mag-live, tapos makikita mo agad kung sino yung mga bumibili. Yun na yung magiging trend talaga ngayon. Yung shop entertainment ang tinatawag nila doon.
Shop entertainment. Pero is it the same user experience or it's directed through TikTok, or is there an app for TikTok Shop?
Hindi, yung mismong TikTok na mismo. Yun ang maganda dyan. Ang bilis niya. Parang click lang, makakadalawang click ka lang or 3 clicks ka lang, makakabili ka na.
Alright. Pero
GCash users tayo eh.
So it's not necessarily e-commerce. Para siyang social seller commerce siya.
Oo, tapos may
Hindi
video pa. Yun ang
ah,
advantage niya.
so hindi ka makakapag-search ng product. You have to get yourself
Ah,
connected to a social seller.
yes. May search lang din siya. Parang Facebook. Sa search mo kung anong gusto mong product. Then
Parang
lalabas naman na.
marketplace. Parang
Oo.
ganun.
Pero ang difference lang niya, may video siya.
So yun yung. So it's totally different approach to the user experience, no?
Yes,
Totally
parang
different.
mako-convince ka lang din eh.
Parang seller focus siya. So baka mataas siya sa seller attraction. Okay, so I guess Shopee has a bigger audience, no? Bigger user experience here. I completely agree kasi yung mga active users parang nagsha-Shopee sila. No? But I'm not so sure, but questionable yung customer service nila. I know it plays a factor sa user experience, but usually user experience sa app yan, di ba? But anyway,
Pero sa mga affiliates, parang
Lazada ba?
parang umaayaw na yung mga affiliates sa Shopee kasi ang baba.
Hindi,
So,
ano yun?
Lazada pa rin.
Because number 2, also yung factor dyan yung ano eh. Ito, nasa seller attraction siguro yan. Mamaya tingnan natin.
Sige.
Tingnan natin.
Okay.
We did mention product range and quality. I guess Lazada is ahead. Race, no argument here, I guess, no? In terms of product range. And quality, so it's a mix. Kasi yun din sinabi ng wife ko, pag gusto mo mas cheaper pero delikado ka, mag-Shopee ka. yun yung comment. Kasi,
Chris, may nakalimutan ka dyan.
Ano yan?
Facebook Marketplace.
Pero free siya, no? But let's...
Sige, yun na lang.
Ito talaga yung nasa news silang tatlo eh.
Okay,
Seller attraction and support, siguro TikTok Shop to, no? Tapos Lazada and then Shopee. Medyo mababa si Shopee. And matagal daw magbayad si Shopee. Sobrang tagal. So yung cash flow niya is struggling. Unlike Amazon, no? Although Amazon's not here, medyo mabagal si Amazon. No? Do you agree, guys? Seller attraction support Lazada, TikTok kasi medyo may customer, may yung affiliate marketing nila medyo mataas. Okay? Yeah. Innovation and adaptability. I'm scoring TikTok Shop dito because of their
innovation.
Approach.
Yeah.
Sa Lazada siguro they're probably tied, no?
With Shopee.
Or ganito yung forecast ko. What do you think? Nico? Okay?
Yeah.
Since si TikTok yung innovator, siya yung di ba? Siya yung makikipag-compete. So dapat mas mataas siya. Although si Lazada ahead sa e-commerce side, and he'll try to compete as well. Sa growth and expansion, I am projecting TikTok Shop na mas mataas because billions of dollars talaga ipapasok nyo sa Southeast Asia. Lazada siguro will try to compete. Si Shopee struggling sa financials based on Are you guys okay there? You guys okay?
Yeah.
With that number? Marketing and brand awareness, definitely. Ang daming PR ngayon ni TikTok Shop, no? Talagang all in siya dito sa business ngayon. I'm not sure kung makakasabay ito si Lazada kasi influencers hawak, no? And then marketing, medyo struggling din to see Shopee, no? Because of the brand image. All right. So here's the look. Okay naman kaya so far with the scores?
Yeah.
Lazada will still, so just in summary, before we head into the discussions here, no? Lazada will still be, syempre e-commerce sila, di ba? As a platform, iba yung platform naman ni TikTok Shop. No? I don't think they will try, TikTok Shop will copy Lazada, no? In terms, kasi nga, they're gonna use the app, no? And they're gonna use the influencers, no? So, ahead si Lazada, but in a very close si TikTok Shop, no? As far as user base is concerned, tataas yan. And then yung volume of transaction will shift eventually sa TikTok Shop. So now, Ito yung main question. Let's go back to the lagger, no? Laggard rather. Sino yung late? How can Shopee compete now? Sila yung in terms of financials, in terms of quality, in terms of marketing, sobrang creative and exciting si TikTok Shop. How can you compete? So number one, as Shopee, what's your advice? Number two, as a consultant for companies na nagsa-start yung business, what's your advice? Na medyo mo, challenging yung marketing, struggling ka sa financial mo, so yung marketing spend mo, anong gagawin mo? Do you scale down? Mag-reduce ka or you give up? Who wants to start?
Yeah, I can start.
Sige.
I think giving up should not be part of the equation. But
May pag-asa pa si
honestly,
Shopee.
honestly, I don't like the conversation on Shopee versus Lazada versus TikTok. Because I think e-commerce is so much more bigger than these three. No? I think with Shopee and Lazada, mainly it will boil to who has the more money. They're a typical example of how much they have to spend for marketing so that you will dominate the space. But then there are a lot of other brands out there that actually make the e-commerce space alive. These are businesses, smaller businesses that use Shopify, for example, right? And they build a business that's successful around their product or their brand. No, so Lazada and Shopee is just a platform where you can plug in your brand and your business and hope that Shopee and Lazada's marketing will, make you succeed or sell your product and put your product out there. It's just a catalog.
Mm.
So it will all boil down to who has the more to offer, who has the more products to offer for the market and how much marketing spend can they put behind their brand. So my advice to Shopee, if they're struggling with their marketing and their budget, find an investor so you can compete because you're a big fish in a big pond. So you'll be eaten by the bigger fish. That's just my personal opinion. Of course, I don't know like the internal workings of either of these companies, and even TikTok Shop. No, but I think ultimately, when we talk about these two, it's just Giant versus Giant, Jollibee versus McDonald's. They're both going to be there. It's just up to the consumer if who offers the cheaper product, the same product for a cheaper price. Yun yung labanan sa Lazada and Shopee. And I don't really like that conversation because there's no room for growth there. There's no room for someone to change his life, for example, because he started a business. If you start a coffee business and your only channel is Lazada and Shopee, you're competing with the cheapest. And
Okay.
I don't like to be in that position. I'd rather like build my own shop, build my own brand, start small, and then uh, commit to that
Mm.
rather than keep my put all of my eggs in on Lazada and Shopee and
Yes,
hope that
that's
one of them will do it for me. So in the big picture, it's just how much does Shopee have enough money in their pockets to stay afloat and to compete with Lazada and especially TikTok.
yeah.
TikTok, controversial
Uh,
kasi sabi nila CCP is funding TikTok, di ba? So if CCP is backing up
Ang
TikTok,
daming
they have
money nun.
unlimited money. So how do you compete
Yes.
with that? But then Lazada is also China. So how do
Oo
you
nga eh.
compete with that as well? So baka mahirapan yung Shopee. They'll need money. They
Yes,
can
yes.
talk to the CIA if they
And
want.
yes. And to acquire an investor, kailangan may papakita kang business plan, di ba? Are you attractive? How do you compete, di
Mm.
ba? Yung offer mo rin, di ba? Yung sinasabi mo kanina, offer.
Yeah,
Nico,
how
your thoughts?
much? Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I believe all the tech companies are a bit bloated in terms of their, normally when
I
they get
agree.
when they have an IPO or when all these they get
Uh,
VC money, they start going on a spending spree. So I believe they can cut. I mean, and many Facebook, they all been cutting the fat, from their structure.
lalo
So I
na
guess they have.
AI.
Yeah.
Kasi,
So, yeah, so they can apply it. But what's interesting for me with Shopee, I mean, they were able to overtake Lazada despite, I mean, before, no, they were able to overtake Lazada, despite having being a smaller player. What's interesting for me is their pivot to e-wallets. if you notice. So they have a C bank. They have, they're using they're using their platform and their wallet as a Gcash. So yes, you can get investors, but it's possible that they just gonna use your money. It's like a bank, diba?
Yes, yes, yes.
They all deposits are used. So
Pwede.
I find it interesting that they've been I've been noticing more payment channels that's accepting their money,
Oh.
Shopee Pay. So it's something to watch out for, no.
So,
'Di ba parang
nag-diversify sila, no?
nag-verify. So instead of competing lang solely on e-commerce, what's one component of e-commerce is the payment solution,
Oh,
right?
yes.
So
That's a
they're
good point.
they're yeah, so they're entering another space.
It could be an exit strategy too.
Can be,
Just
yeah,
in
I
case.
mean it
Yeah,
can be. Yeah.
that's
That's
possible.
true. No? They're becoming banks, financial
Yeah.
institutions na rin itong mga e-com
Yeah.
companies ito eh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Kasi pag nagpe-pay ka, diretso sa kanila. Kaya minsan,
Yeah.
ang main concern ng mga KOLs sa Shopee or key
Yeah.
online influencers is the payments. Ang tagal.
Yeah.
60 days or more. So, in a way, since they have the money already, they could pay naman, di ba? They could pay
Yeah.
already the influencers, but they're not. So, yun yung
Yeah.
issue. They're, in a way, capitalizing the funds that they're getting para
Yeah.
for operational
Yeah.
purposes. For Shopee, how about Lazada? Anong advice nyo? Since very close yung labanan sa kanila between Lazada and TikTok. Ano kaya yung strategy nila?
Christian, sabihin ko lang yung sa TikTok kasi, instant eh. Kumbaga, nakalist na lahat ng mga, kunwari, ako, di ba, KOL ako. Kung gusto kong maging affiliate, diretso na eh. Ang bilis eh. Kunwari, na-achieve ko na yung 1,000 followers na nila. Affiliate na kagad ako. Yung Lazada, walang ganun. So, yun ang difference ngayon, yung innovation ng TikTok. Ang bilis eh. Kumbaga, yung mga affiliates, pipili na lang sila ng brand na gusto nila na maggagawa sila ng video tapos parang pinopromote nila kasi may percentage kagad sila doon. So, yun ang difference talaga. So, dapat ganun gawin ng mga gusto nilang shop entertainment din. May live pa. Ang dami talaga innovation ng TikTok.
So, what you're saying, yung the way yung innovation nila sa seller side, no?
Oo.
The influencer side, no? Yun yung magiging labanan.
Siguro ang gagawin ng Lazada, taasan na lang nila yung percentage ng affiliates nila. Existing affiliates. Yun ang nakikita ko dyan.
Do you think, Nico, since you work with influencers in the social media space, magkakaroon ba ng yung mga influencers just choosing one platform? Kasi definitely, if mas maganda rate si bakit ka pang di ba? If mura si Lazada, di ba?
Well, I guess, well, for the influencers, I mean, where they can make more money, that's where they will go. No, but again, influence is only one component. No, but TikTok has been able to take advantage of that. So, because they that's what they're doing. They're live selling. I know Shopee and Lazada, they also have live selling, but it's
a small component, no?
Small component.
But are you saying na the way we buy will still be the same? It's going to be the e-commerce route, or it could be another shop.
It can
yung
be
social or
well, Shopee and Lazada, you can search for the item. It has a wide range of products. Because if you're live selling something, that may not be what you need right now. But at the same time, it's about product discovery. So when you're live selling something, you're able to show something that maybe the people don't know about. So I think there's room for everybody. Like even Kevin was saying earlier about even me, I have my own Shopify account for my own home product. So yeah, there's I think there's room for everything, and I don't want to be in Shopee and Lazada where it's so crowded, and it's all about the cheapest
Yeah,
price.
I agree with that.
Ang advantage kasi ng kapag nasa TikTok na is yung content mo, it can go,
Viral.
can go viral, no? So that's
I
the
mean,
advantage.
I guess with TikTok, it's about finding that unique product that you want
Mm.
to broadcast.
To
I
make it
mean,
more
yeah,
viral, diba? Oo.
yeah,
And the way you create that content, no?
yeah.
Okay. So, Kevin, you mentioned it's not something, there's room for everything, room for everyone in the e-commerce. Tama ba
Yeah,
yung assessment
everyone
ko?
can get into it. At the end of the day, it's about your product. Going viral is nice. But how can you sustain it? You can't rely on going viral every day for your business.
Mhm.
You have to have like a product that solves a problem for people, and people at a price range that people can afford, and they're willing to, to buy it and buy it for a long time. And that would be ideal. They don't buy it once; they buy it multiple times a year. So it could be a consumable. It could be something that you need to get replenished every now and then. But yeah, I think there's a lot of space in e-commerce. You can be creative. You use channels like TikTok, Facebook, Lazada, and Shopee. These are just tools. At the end of the day, if your product sucks, you'll close down. You'll close shop. But if your
Mm.
product is amazing, I mean, I have clients that just have amazing products that I spend much less ad spend on, and they make more revenue per month, and their
Mm.
retention is so much higher, and
Mm.
their products are easily go viral. It's because it's just a good product. People like it. People find it uh as a solution for something, or
Mm.
it doesn't have to be a solution for something all the time. It could just be like you have the best couch in the market, right?
Mm.
People attest to that, so people will give you reviews, testimonials, and you use that for your marketing. It's
Mm.
organic marketing,
Mm.
and if you have a good product, people will buy it.
Mm.
And if you advertise it, you could go viral, or even if you don't advertise it, if it's organic, could go organically viral. But then again, these are just channels and tools. You don't rely on going viral for your business. It's just
Mm.
something. It's a bonus that can
Mm.
give you spikes in sales. If you have a video that goes viral, your sales will probably spike. If you get 1 million views, you'll probably convert 1 or 2% of that. So that's a lot of revenue. But you're
Mm.
not gonna go viral every day. So
That's true. Ikaw, Nell, what do you think? Should people go for TikTok? Do you recommend companies go TikTok, or if you're happy with your current setup, okay naman. If you're not really good with TikTok, or is this something you really have to do?
Continue na lang nila kung ano yung nasimulan
Kung
nila,
happy.
'di ba? Yes, continue lang nila or gawa na sila ng panibagong company to compete with TikTok.
Oo.
Something like
That's,
that. Siguro
oo.
ganun na lang.
Mm. All right. I think we covered everything na, no? I think that's a good discussion. We've reached the end of the show. And sa akin, what I'm gathering so far is leverage all the social media, and at the same time, I think yung key dyan is yung on Nico's side is yung value of yung working with influencers. No? Regardless of your brands, taking advantage of that, and also yung product mo and then yung offer mo. No? So with that, Nel and Nico and Kevin, thank you for joining us on this show. I hope we could invite you again on the
thank you.
next
Yeah,
Yes.
episode.
looking
Thank you.
All
forward to
right.
part
Thank you
two.
for coming. Thank you for
Thanks for
coming.
Yeah.
coming,
All right.
and see you again on our
Nice to meet
next
you,
episode.
Nico.
Nice to
Christian,
meet
Thank
you.
you.
Nell.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye.